What's going on, True Soldiers? It's LeBradford here, aka King Truth and True Soldiers EDU. Today we're going to be speaking on peak performance. What reaching your potential and performing at your best when it matters most. I had the thrill of planning for this class. Peak performance is one of my favorite subjects. We're going to be getting into 10 of the most essential principles to reaching your peak. And we'll jump in with the first one, and that's to that's to identify your peak, set a plan, and go all in. When you identify your peak, is essentially identifying what your purpose is. So, in peak performance, we'll be covering purpose and what you're here for and what you're here to do, and confidence, the self-esteem, the confidence that it takes to achieve that purpose. So when identifying your peak, your purpose, it's like knowing who you are and what you have to give to the world, your greatest gifts and services to provide for the external world. And your peak, you want to visualize yourself climbing up that mountain and putting a flag to mark your territory in the top of the mountain. Once you identify your peak, or for instance, let me backtrack. My purpose, my peak, you want to know what your lifetime purpose and peak is, or at least what your 5 to 10 year peak is. And mine would be, for instance, to distill wisdom from great books and great teachers, and to gain understanding in it, then to inspire others and help develop future leaders. So identify what your peak is. Once you identify it, you want to know how you're gonna reach that peak. You want to systematically, methodically figure out a plan to achieve and reach that excellence. Reaching your peak is not going up the mountain and stopping halfway like, oh, it got too hard. That's mediocrity. Essentially the ancient root meaning of mediocrity, stopping halfway. You want to set a plan and persevere through the challenges and triumph over the obstacles to reach your excellence, not mediocre. Through a systematic, methodical plan, by knowing how you're going to reach that peak, you can look at, for instance, a mountain climber trying to reach the top of Mount Everest. They have their base point where they start at. Before they even get to that base point, they had practice and training to prepare for climbing up that mountain. Then they they get at their base point and know what they need to do before they get to the next base point. And once they get to that base point, they set out the next step-by-step increments to get to the third base point, and so on until they reach the top. And just as important, they're descendants of the mountain from the peak to get back down and then create a new peak. For instance, for your next 5 to 10 years, or where you imagine yourself in that era. So for me, my plan would be to have monthly set goals where I'm reading and observing and taking classes, a set amount of classes, and observing a set amount of teachers and reading a set amount of books, and then relaying that information, understanding it, and then distilling it through these seminars and classes that I provide. So what is your plan on reaching your peak? Once you identify what your peak is, identify what your plan is, you want to move to the third step, which is to go all in. You don't want to go 98%, 99%, and leave that small margin of error or absentees. You want to go 100%. You want to do it daily. You know, for instance, you don't want to say, I'm going to do it Monday, Tuesday, skip Wednesday, and then do it Thursday, and leave that error for breaking that habit. You want to install the habit where you're compounding those marginal incremental improvements or gaining skill daily. So if you do miss one day, you definitely don't want to miss 2 days. That'd be like you just needing to start over from the beginning. If you look at going all in, you can look at it from a perspective of what I like to call activated energy. If you rub 2 sticks together and you're trying to create heat to compound and aggregate a fire through composition of motion to create and activate the energy of a fire, you can't reach it at 98%, 99%. You can't reach it at 449 degrees, 450 degrees. You have to go 100% and compound that energy until it reached 451 degrees, just like boiling water. You can't reach the boiling point. It doesn't start boiling and creating steam at 210, 211 degrees. You have to get exactly to 212 degrees. There's a good analogy, a metaphor. Someone once said, for those that are trying to reach enlightenment, you don't go at it half-heartedly. You go at it with your full might. Just as if someone with their hair on fire approaches a lake, you approach enlightenment at your maximum potential. So it's not necessarily grandiose if you approach it in the systematic, if you approach it in the action-based, systematic, educational foundation, it's not grandiose, but it's actually iterative, where you're repeating the process, putting one step in front of the other, one step in front of the other on the journey to the mile, 1,000-mile journey, on the process to the 1,000-mile journey. You put one step in front of the other, and you learn and grow and put in the time it takes to reach the peak. Appreciate it, true soldiers. I hope you're having a good day. And you can take from this message, continue to create your masterpiece days, months, years, which compound into a composition of a lifetime. Alright, have a good one. Until next time.